Good morning, Retroville. Go grab your Bibles. You know this routine. We're about to get started and we're gonna have some fun.
So today we're going to be learning about the Gospels, 4 books in the Bible, and they are super duper important. I mean, the whole thing is, right? But we're going to be talking about the Gospels. So the word gospel means a written account of the life of Jesus. Hey, Retroville, we are going to start by a little art project maybe. Not really a game, but an art project. So I need you to go grab either a paper plate or maybe just a piece of paper and a marker. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, now that you have your supplies, it's time for the instructions. So you are going to hold your plate on your head. Hey friends, can you guys do this? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to take your marker and you are going to draw. Now listen, you can't take this off of your head while you draw this. It's got to stay up here. You're going to draw a fish. Go. Are you guys about finished?
I'm done.
Wait until everybody's finished.
Oh, I'm done.
You are done?
Yeah.
Okay, so on 3, we're going to pull our plates down and we're going to show our friends out there the fish that we drew. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, what is it?
Let me see.
Okay.
Jason, what is that?
Let me see.
Y'all drew a little bitty fish.
I drew big.
I think I drew a goldfish, like the goldfish that you eat.
That looks good.
And I have water. Oh yeah, look at that fish.
I tried to do like the eyes and the smile.
What do your fish look like? We want to see these. Please have your parents take a picture and post it on the Retroville Facebook page.
How do you guys eat y'all's M&Ms? I mean, sometimes I eat the outside first and then eat the creamy chocolate in the middle.
I just eat them.
I bite them in half and then eat it whole.
I won't eat them until all the grades are gone.
Either way, we're still eating M&Ms. True.
I don't know about you, but now I want some M&Ms. And Kate was right. Even though they all four ate them differently, they were still eating M&Ms. Kind of reminds me of the Gospels. Let's take a look at this video to find out some more information.
Mark wasn't one of Jesus' disciples, his 12 followers. He was a good friend of the disciple Peter, though, and we believe the Gospel of Mark is his record of all the stories Peter told him about Jesus. Now, Matthew was one of Jesus' disciples, and he wanted to add to the stories in Mark's book with more stuff that he remembered. 90% of Mark's stories show up in Matthew, plus stories about Jesus' birth and great teaching like the Sermon on the Mount. Then comes Luke. Luke was a very bright guy. We think he was a doctor who set about writing his gospel like he was a historian. He used about half of Mark's stories, but then talked to eyewitnesses and other people who had known Jesus to add even more. Luke was such a good historian that he went on to write the history of the early church, the book we call the Acts of the Apostles. Between the book of Luke and the book of Acts, Luke wrote a quarter of the entire New Testament.
Wow, so there's a lot that's the same in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. That's why we call them the Synoptic Gospels. What's that mean? The prefix SYN means the same. Optic means to see, so synoptic means to see the same way. The three synoptic gospels see the life of Jesus the same way.
So what's the fourth gospel, and how did he see Jesus?
The fourth gospel is the Gospel of John. Now, John was one of Jesus' closest disciples. He didn't use any of Mark's writing when he wrote his own book, and he kind of had a different purpose in mind.
That's right. John's Gospel may be the most popular book in the entire Bible, and it's been translated into more languages than any other book.
Okay, I want you to think of your favorite memory. Maybe it's a birthday party, maybe it's a vacation. But I want you to think about that and all of the people that were involved. Now, if I went to those people and I started asking them to tell me the story of this memory that you have, they're going to tell me the story, but it's going to sound a little bit different because it's from a different perspective. Kind of like your birth. If I were to ask your mom about your birth, she's going to tell me you were born, but her story is going to be very different than your dad's because your dad wasn't the one that was pregnant with you and having you. So it's kind of like that. It's a little bit different. You see, it's kind of like that with the Gospels.
Matthew was there during many of Jesus' miracles, also when he died on the cross. Matthew was a tax collector and an apostle. He was killed for his love of Jesus.
Kate, did Mark learn a lot from Peter the apostle?
Yeah, that's how he wrote the book of Mark. The book of Mark says Jesus came here to teach us how to serve.
Tanner, what is the book of Luke about?
Salvation for everyone. Hey guys, Luke was a doctor. John was the closest friend to Jesus. John wrote also the very last book in the Bible.
It's four different perspectives, but it's all about the life of Jesus. Some were personally there during some of that, and some of them were just about the stories that they were being told from people who were there. But it's the most important story that's ever been told. And he died for what was important to him, and that's us. So the most important story ever is the story of Jesus and his love for us. That, my friend, that's what the Gospels are all about.
All right, guys, I hope you really enjoyed the lesson today as we talked about the Gospels. But more importantly, we talked about the life of Jesus and the message that Jesus came to teach us. Jesus loves us and he wants to be a part of our lives. So we want you to get that, and next week we'll be coming back to one more lesson on the Bible. I hope that you'll make plans right now to join us right here next week. We love you and we miss you. See you later.